Welcome back to challengeyourself.blog. Here's an update on the custom filtration unit that I've been working on. As you can see in the background, I have the original design from the last video, and although the green and red LED light is missing, or are missing, they are still in the unit itself. I harvested several parts when I was trying to do some testing. The new design that this is actually the third iteration. I have two other units side by side behind me that I wanted to make sure that I was able to get improved airflow through the unit, especially with the resistance that the filter creates. So I went from an actually more expensive two fan system to a more compact, less expensive 3-fan system, and I was very impressed with the results. These two fans are, I believe, 15 millimeters tall or thick, so there's 30 millimeters there. These are actually 10 each. So basically, I've got the same thickness with the 3-fan system that I got with the 2-fan system. I was able to eliminate this central connector. I eliminated the bolts. Basically, this whole unit snaps together. It does have some hot glue and some silicone to seal up the unit, make it a little bit more airtight. But essentially this thing just clicks together. It does take a little longer to print, but while I'm printing, I'm usually soldering the PCB and all the wiring and resistors and whatnot together, and I've got it honed down so that it doesn't really take that long to do this. I was able to clean up some of the wiring. These are original from the fans. They're one of the early versions of this, and I think it can be seen here. I had cut the wires off, the connectors off, and I ended up using the ends on the LEDs, but I wanted to get away from that so that it was a little bit more plug and play. I did make more of a custom connector to the LED itself, so it makes it a little bit faster. It makes it a little bit faster to wire this thing up internally, but the fans basically connect right to the PCB. And for the moment of truth, the advantage of this system over some of the others that you would see on Amazon or eBay that are kind of plug and play or off the shelf, I haven't found any that show an indication that there's power hooked up, and the small ones especially are battery operated. Now, what I found with battery operated units, especially when you have a noisy environment and when there's no light indicator, you have no idea if it's running, because with the fans and the cooling fans and whatnot, and the motor noise and all that with the printer, you don't necessarily hear the fan of the filter going. So you would want to have some sort of a visual indicator. So this system that I came up with has the red light, so you know that there is power to the unit, that it's plugged in, and then the green light indicates that the fan is on. And there's definitely some pretty impressive flow coming out of this. And then here is the 3M cartridge. See if they have I guess they don't have there we go, the organic vapor cartridge. So If you're printing with ABS filament or one of the other ones that gives off a notable smell, that smell is not good for you. That is a VOC, or volatile organic compound that is not healthy to breathe in. So this cartridge would be the right one to use to remove those VOCs, and it has a light particulate filter as well. So what I found with my experience of printing is sometimes you get a little bit of threading, or it looks like very, very light cotton candy. It's like a dusting that ends up in the enclosure. This will help remove some of that before it gets into the organic compound remover. So in order to connect this and seal it well, I put an O-ring on here, and this connector ring is matched up to this. So there's basically only one way to put this thing together. Two of the pieces are larger than the last one, and so that makes it so you can only put it on one way. And you just put it on, make sure that it clicks into place, and then this can only be put on one way. And there we go. There is one thing that I am ironing out with this, is when I'm printing, I have a little bit of a curling going on. The box curls one way and the top is curling a different way. It's a very minor curling that's happening, and I think what I'm going to do is put like I'm going to design a little adapter plate to compensate for that, so that this thing clicks together, and then I'll silicone the joint, and then the thing will be one solid piece. And if for some reason I needed to get into it, like if I sold this to someone and they fan quit or something, I would just be able to kind of cut it open easily, cut through the silicone and get in there to replace it. I'd just send them another unit and refurbish this one. So anyway, that's pretty much everything. It'll come with a 12-volt plug, and working out some of the other logistical details, but I'm very happy with how this thing came along, and stay tuned. There'll be more updates coming up pretty soon.